morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Wow. I want to speak about Missouri for a moment.
Whoa.
You know, we had some preconceived notions about Missouri. I think a lot of people do.
Don't we all?
We get lots of comments about watch out for the poisonous snakes and watch out for the ticks and watch out for the chiggers and watch out for this.
Rhenda did step on a snake yesterday.
Watch out for that. No big deal.
She says that now.
It wasn't.
There was quite a squeal when she did. Little one.
I want you to know, we love Missouri. We love Missouri. We went driving on Sunday, and I heard him say, I'm falling in love with Missouri.
Now, there may come a hot part of the summer that's totally miserable.
Oh no, there will come a hot part of the summer.
Everybody talks about that. We're not experiencing that yet. We
have had a few days.
We've had some hot spells during a couple of days. But the mornings and the evenings and the nights are like fantastic. And the last few days have been like, whoa, I could do this all the time. And we know it's only June, and we understand that. We understand opposition. We have lived in the dead heat of the desert of Arizona, and we have lived in 30 below in the desert of Utah. So, we just want to say we love Missouri. Yes. It's green.
There are things wrong with Missouri. Are there things wrong with anywhere?
Everywhere. But there are so many things right with Missouri that we're like thrilled.
We are so happy about it. So, I just want you to listen for just a moment. I don't know how many different birds.
How many did you hear?
That's what we get every single morning and every single night. It's amazing. And the fireflies are out.
They were out last night.
They were out the night before too. I was sitting here talking on the phone, and there was
fireworks in the.
You know where I've seen the fireflies the most in my whole life? Disney World Land, when you're going through the little thing and it shows the little fake fireflies. That's the only time I've seen them practically, except when I was a little girl. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you, we're happy.
It's great.
We're so happy, and you know, we could go around and show you, oh, we planted this or we did that, and we did. We planted 3 grapes.
Grapevines.
Grapevines, and we're going to
We didn't just take a grape and plant it in the ground.
And we're going to make an arbor that goes over, but we're getting to do long-term things.
Yes.
It's just amazingly exciting, and I love it. I love it. I love it.
I gotta keep her from floating away. She's so excited.
We're going to talk to you about how to measure what you're doing and what you're achieving through eating correctly. The scale, I still get on the scale.
I do too. It's easy, it's quick. You stand on it, a couple seconds later you know a number that changes depending on what you do.
Right. But that's the way we knew we were way in trouble 10 years ago. Because you hit a number you'd never hit, and I hit a number I'd never hit, and we're like, ah!
It is an indicator.
It's only an indicator. What's the reason why it's only an indicator?
Because there are so many factors that affect your weight, and you also can do things to drop a lot of weight real quick. And so, wow, you're doing great, and then you don't do great for a while and the number comes back up. So what does that mean that you made it go down for a while? I think it hurts you if you get it going up and down because you're doing things that don't make you healthy but just drop the weight. I mean, you can stop eating and just eat little bits and the weight's gonna go away, but you're not gonna be healthy.
So let me just tell you, we used to do Weight Watchers. Long before this.
We're not dissing Weight Watchers. No, it works.
I've tried it 2 other times since then. I've had to call them and say I need to have my money refunded because the way you count your points, it makes my points just skyrocket because of the way I eat with more fat and more protein.
Right.
And so you could live on, what we discovered is you could live on popsicles and lose weight if you stayed within your points. Well, that's not nutritionally
what
healthy.
We're saying, based on what we've learned about the way our body reacts with food, is that the Weight Watchers method is not healthy for us.
For us.
Not to say it doesn't work for somebody else. We've talked about bio-individuality, and it can
biochemical individual. I keep forgetting to say that part.
So it can't. We're not saying it can't work, but we're saying based on what we have found works for us, Weight Watchers is not a fit.
So the reason I bring that up is because...
And the other plans that are out there for losing weight aren't a fit either, because it's the same type of thing. Right?
Yes, for us.
For us.
For us. All right, so there are some measurements that you look at. Some things that you can tell whether you're eating right or eating wrong. What's one of those measurements?
I don't know. Where are you going with this?
It's done in the bathroom. You want to have regular...
Oh, that's the one you're talking about? Ah, okay.
You want to be able to have regular bowel movements. When you first start this, if you are used to eating a bunch of carbohydrates and you are not used to eating as much protein or fat, you may get a little constipated. You want to make sure that you're throwing lots of those vegetables in there. And you want to be able to be regular. Our regulars were very different. Mine was every single day, his was every 3 days. But I didn't think every 3 days was very good for him.
I stress too much. Her stress comes out, mine stays in, but it's still stress. And, you know, in fact, I'm going to say this. Back in the earlier days of our marriage, one thing that, you know, this is way before Google, okay? We would go to the library to find books and look up things and learn. And for whatever reason...
I know what he's going to say. The library is a laxative for him.
It was and continues to be one of my best
We
laxatives.
go to Barnes & Noble. I'll be in the bathroom. Okay, this conversation is going...
But that's the point. The point that I'm making is that stress is a problem. We keep saying you have to get rid of your stress to be healthy. And you're also saying that my bowel movements being every 3 days is not healthy. I totally agree with you. And what I'm saying is, when I find a way to remove that stress, my bowel movements happen. Like it's like flipping a switch.
And now, he's very regular. Almost daily.
Most days. Now, there's some days I get a little stressy, and I don't have a bowel movement. So
why is that important?
That's a factor.
Do you remember?
That's a big factor. Sorry to interrupt her, but
okay.
It is a big factor.
All right. So do you remember me saying a few days ago that the food goes into here? Well, it comes out here. And it's a tube. It's one long thing, and it all depends on what we are putting in there and how it works in our body. It has to come out.
And the stuff our body doesn't need never goes into our body. It just goes through that tube and comes out. The stuff that our body needs gets pulled out.
Yes.
Now, if you don't chew it, some of that stuff that needs to get pulled out goes all the way through. Right?
Right.
So you don't want that. You want to chew it.
It also gets stuck in your intestines and causes
problems
perforations and causes leaky gut syndrome.
Which is bad.
Which is very bad.
Real bad.
So chew your food, but you want your body to be able to be regular. So.
Now, regular is part of it. Another part of it is consistency.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Are we going to talk about that?
I wasn't going to get into it that much, but you want to talk
another
about
time.
it?
Another time. Stay tuned for another time.
Okay. What is the measurement that counts the most to tell you whether you are set up for heart disease?
You know, you're setting me up here. I don't know what you're trying to... I don't know what you're getting for. Oh, hip to waist ratio. Hip to waist ratio.
We're going to stand up.
Hip.
By the way, you always set me up.
Ratio. So we measure hip first, right? It's hip.
I don't know.
Hip.
Okay. So there. And then this one is right by his belly button. Okay?
So
this is the ratio that needs to change. The waist and the hip. So you take the hip and take the waist. Divide the waist by the hip. And you want it to be the ratio that we're putting on the screen here.
Okay.
There you go.
But the point is, it's a ratio, and if it's 1 point something, it's time to make some changes because you're carrying too much in here, which is creating havoc in your body. Not just the weight pulling you around, but the biochemical things that are happening as a result of what's stored here is creating havoc inside of your body.
It's also a different type of fat in your abdomen, and it goes around your organs, and that's the deadly fat that can cause the heart.
Intertwines with your organs, so not just hanging out here. If you look
bigger here, think about what it's doing to your organs inside, and this is your main measurement. We can stand on the scale all we want, and if it brings us satisfaction, that's great. So we want you to go ahead and stand on the scale. You may want to, we do, because it gives us a little bit of a satisfaction.
Indicator.
But don't use it as your end
As
all.
you get better with the waist to hip ratio and you get those numbers more like they need to be, you'll learn the relationship between what you're seeing on your scale and what you're measuring with your waist to hip ratio. And it can be a quick indicator to say, oh wow, I'm going the wrong way. You're right, I haven't been eating like I know I should, and it's getting out of balance. Then you'll take the time and do the measurement and you'll say, ooh, I added some inches in here I didn't plan to, and then you'll know to fix it.
Okay, so that was great, honey. Number 1 is your scale, but you know, that's just for you. Number 2 is your bowel movements. You want those to be regular. You want them to be a soft consistency.
Yeah.
You don't want them to be runny. You don't want them to be hard. We get hemorrhoids. We get all kinds of bad things, and especially as people get older. Trust me, as a nurse, I've seen it over and over and over and over. It's a major part of your body. Put it in here, it comes out here, but it needs to function right in between. That's what this whole 30 days is about. And yeah. And then the third one is your hip to waist to hip ratio. We just took some time and measured ourselves. And people will look at us and say, oh, you guys are in such good shape. We have comments like that. According to the ratios, we're not. We're in a high average, which means we are at risk for cardiovascular incidents. And so we need to really buckle down and make sure that, you know, I'm going to start looking at our portions and things like that. So as we fix ourselves, you can look at yourselves and see what you need to fix. But sometimes these measurements, the reason we measure is because it's like ding, 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 ding.
Ignoring them is like where we had been before we started this whole process, ignoring all the little signs that were there until it was a situation, a pretty rough situation. Could have been a lot worse, I suppose. So we're very lucky that it wasn't, but there's still the risk factors there. There's still the concerns. There's still the problem makers that are happening for us that we need to fix.
So check out your ratios. Look at what we put on there, and depending on what you look at, when I look at one of them, it says you are at high risk, you know, and so I went with the one that had the most spread out and felt like it wouldn't send every single person into the alarm.
Yeah. Some of them are that way. So, you know, it's not like we're on our deathbed and we're going to the hospital tomorrow, but we aren't where we want to be based on the reality of all the indicators and all the studies that have been done. We still have some things that we need to fix.
We're going to show you a couple of things that we're doing today on our homestead, because hey, we're still homesteaders, even though we're throwing this 30-day thing in there.
Can I add a bonus measurement in here, at least not explaining the whole thing?
Yeah.
But this is coming in the future, and it's more related to the exercise, but it relates to how you process your food. It's called resting metabolic rate. Some of you may have heard of it. It's a fantastic measurement to be aware of. It's an important measurement. Like I say, it's done most accurately by medical professionals with some expensive equipment and so forth. But really what it comes down to is when you're doing nothing, when you're sleeping at night, there's a certain rate at which you're burning calories, in which your body's functioning is taking care of what's there. And everybody's different. It depends on your height, size, a lot of factors, and how good a shape you're in.
And do some of your own research.
One of the factors is in your normal respiration rate, and that's what's used for helping to calculate it. But what it indicates is how effectively your body is functioning, and the better shape you get yourself in as far as what you're eating and how you're there, but also your physical condition, how well you're doing with cardiovascular exercise, how your muscles are growing and strengthening and being there. All of those factors come together to set up a resting metabolic rate. The better your resting metabolic rate is, the more efficiently you're processing this fuel that you're putting into it, and it's going to go and do the things that it needs to go to, instead of coming and showing up here. So that's why resting metabolic rate is important.
And your heart rate's always better than mine when we do any cardiovascular.
Yes.
His is just, your mind goes
and mine's still not where it needs to be, but these are considerations.
So we're going to show you a few of our projects, and then we hope that you have a marvelous time getting healthy. Enjoy your food. At the end of the day,
get a little light on
this. How do I turn the light on? I don't need it.
It should be auto on.
Okay.
It'll come on.
So these are more for the tomato trellises that we're going to be doing. So I painted those. Here's the tarred ends of them. And chicken tractor, you're gonna go, wow, you didn't do anything. Yes, we did.
It's not coming on. Oh, there we go.
This is all painted up here. And oh, what's this? Want to put those in it? This is for, you can put them in this way, Jim. Okay.
Show.
That's the way we're gonna get our eggs. This is a nice little round, oops. See if I can make this stop going off and on. This is a round perch for them. These we're gonna cut down so that they can get into their nest boxes. We use these in Oregon, and we loved these because they're so easy to clean. And then he can open the back door and get them the eggs out. Right? So this is what this looks like. We still have knobs to put on, and oh, I ran the paint. Yuck.
Our biggest challenge has been that we were using what we had, so a lot of times that's meaning we kind of make it work. And so not all the parts are the right shape, the right size, the right thickness.
This is going to have a little tin roof on it so that it is waterproof. Here.
These ribs are lightweight, so it helps this to be lighter, but because they tended to be very springy, moving back and forth. So I took this brace, it's fastened to the frame down here and then to these 4 ribs, so that they can't move as much. There's still some movement, but most of it's gone, so it's a lot more sturdy.
And when you put the wire on, it'll make it sturdier also.
Yes, yes. So we're testing this design by not spending a lot of money on the pieces and parts to see, does this work? Is it light enough? Does it move? Is it functional? Does it fall apart?
And we still need to put a roost in there for them, because these are not broiler chickens. These are our layers that will be working for us, and that's why.
They want to roost, and so we have to figure out a roost situation for them. Should be easy to do. We've got a few ideas. We'll get one up, and so they have it.
And then show me the door. He made a door.
Oh, yeah, let's go look at this door. Doing some learning about biscuit joinery. New experience for me. I've had the tool for cutting them, but I've never even known how to use it.
This, by the way, is his dream workshop that he's putting together.
Oh, it's getting there. So I still have a lot to learn about it. I learned quite a bit, but we've got these put together. Glued, the biscuits are there, and then they're joined.
And
letting it dry now.
Hardware wire on it.
And then there'll be hardware wire on it, yes.
So it is coming together. So let's...
Those lights give us a lot of light, don't they?
So we still keep working on our homestead. We're not doing the food thing all day long. I mean, we do eat all day long, but you know.
Oh, no.
We're not just doing the 30-day
yes.
jumpstart. We are still trying.
We've got to get this homestead up and going. So there's little tasks here and there. We got nothing in the way of places for our animals to be. So we got to get all that ready to go. And we're starting with the chickens, and
the pigs.
About the time we get this done, we got to scramble to get ready for the pigs.
Yep. So.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Share this with your friends. Get them to be part of it. And if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, go to heartinessapproach.com
and sign up for the newsletter. And you'll get it every Friday morning. Wait. Bye.
Bye.